Hello and welcome to this brainstorming session on a March 2018 IELTS question. It is the trend of online shopping is increasing significantly. What effect does it have on the environment and society in general? So we'll be basically thinking about a few ideas, and if you want to go through the sample answer, you can find a link below this YouTube video. That will direct you to my website, and you're free to go through it, go through the structure, and comment on what you think about it. So, the effects. First of all, what are the effects? The effects can be positive or they can be negative. There is no restriction whether you want to write, whether you have to write positive points or negative points. You can choose to write any one of them or both of them. That's entirely your discretion. Now, it can have even an environment or society. Online shopping has positive as well as negative trends, and the first positive on environment is that it reduces the storage footprint. Now, what do you mean by footprint? This is more important. Footprint refers to the environmental cost, of storing any product. So storage footprint is the environmental cost. So when you store a product, for instance, a laptop, in a traditional shop, the environmental cost of storing the laptop is the use of electricity, use of air conditioners that cause heating, air conditioners, and of course the use of water and a number of other things. Even the construction of a showroom, that construction of a shop, that also has an environmental cost. So what is the environmental cost of storing something? The online shopping thing, it reduces this storage footprint. So what it does is, let me explain over here. Traditionally, the model is you have a stockist or a warehouse at the back end, and that warehouse provides a product to a number of small shops. So these are the shops, and these shops then cater to customers. Okay, so this is the traditional model. So there is storage at the warehouse as well as at the shops model. So the environmental footprint is that there's electricity, air conditioning, water, construction cost involved at all these points. What online world does is it directly connects the warehouse to the customer. So the environmental cost involved at this point is wiped out. So it reduces the environmental footprint. It reduces the storage footprint of a particular product. Now, you have understood the point. You can go to the essay and read how the idea has been presented. You have to present an idea followed by an explanation. With an explanation, you can give example of online shops in your area, in your country. For instance, in India, we have Amazon. It's a global company. Another is Flipkart. And these days, a number of other options are emerging. Paytm. So you can just name a few of them to create an example. Secondly, the negative impact is that it increases the transportation cost. Now, environmental impact of transportation cost is the pollution. Now, I have not written this in the answer since there was no need. My words were complete. The purpose is to structure your arguments, not to comprehensively discuss the ideas, not to comprehensively discuss this question, since you have only about 250 to 300 words space available. So here my work was done with this. However, those of you who wish to carry on with the negative impact can talk about transportation costs. So when you are transporting directly from warehouse to customers, the customer demand stays the same. So for instance, the customer buys 5 products from shops, he is still buying 5 products from shops. This, however, increases the transportation cost. Why? The reason is that here the transport is in bulk. Here the transportation is of every single item. So there's a single item flowing over here. So if an online shop is selling 100 items, it is transporting every 100 of them, each of them, through to the customer. Whereas the warehouse, what it does is it transports about 20 to each, and this reduces transportation cost and transportation related pollution as well. So online shopping increases the pollution through transportation. Now let us come to society. What exactly is the impact on society? So first impact, the positive impact, is that it reduces household expenses. You must have noticed, again using one of these examples, that online world has low cost structure. They have a low cost structure than the traditional system. The lower cost structure than the traditional system. So what it does is its cost of doing business. You can use another word, the cost of doing business. The cost of business is lesser, and they transfer these benefits, the lower cost benefits, to the customer. These benefits are sent to the customer. So they end up as benefits for customers. And this is immensely beneficial in reducing household expenses, which can be used. Of course, the argument is not complete. These can be used for more productive purposes, more productive purposes. What are the more productive purposes? For instance, your expenses on food, daily groceries, on your laptops, mobile phones, it falls. That will transform into more productive expenses such as education, such as books, or even charity. That depends upon your choice. Okay. Now, what is the negative impact? It of course has a negative impact, and you may choose to disagree with me, but my point here is not to discuss the society's impacts. My point here is to build an argument for an IELTS essay so that you score better band. So if you consider that it causes unemployment, you have to justify it. Does it really cause it? So there is an idea again here, as well as here you have to give an idea, and you have to give an explanation. If possible, of course, mention one of these to create an example. Now, in unemployment, the traditional system has a lot of employment available. So there are unorganized, this is an unorganized sector, and in an unorganized sector, you do not have a trained workforce. So even those who are unskilled, they have an opportunity for a job. So there are unskilled jobs available. Now these jobs are completely wiped out in the online world because it is purely based on trained manpower. So only those who have trained manpower, only those who are trained, well trained, they are able to get these jobs. And because of larger economies of scale, as I've mentioned in the answer as well, the number of jobs are in fact lesser, since they need fewer people to carry the same bulk of operations as the shops do. So you have to basically give an idea and explain it adequately to carry your answer. Do not forget to go through the sample answer, the link to which is given below this video. That will help you understand how the arguments have been structured. That is, it's really important, the argument structuring. How arguments have been structured so that you can score better bands. Thank you for watching the video and stay tuned for more exciting stuff.